A couple of weeks ago, I was in the Ukraine. I was looking at and chatting to people, looking at the houses that have been destroyed and just talking to people.
They're just a regular village.
I was thinking, gosh, what was the most painful gift God has given mankind? And I look around, I see that there's two really painful gifts. He must have been pulling his hair out and almost screaming to himself as he gave mankind the freedom to choose, the freedom to make decisions in his own will and act upon them and see the consequences. The second gift he gave, which to me is astonishing, is the capacity to reproduce in their image and likeness. It's kind of meaning that we can reproduce society around us in the image that we choose to propagate. And the desire to push for certain images, certain of our own thoughts and ideas, has created people who really want to shift society, take control their way. Now when God gave us these two gifts, the freedom to choose and the capacity to reproduce in the image we chose, when he gave us that gift, he was in relationship with us. And God is good. It says that God is kind, God is gracious, God is gentle, God's forgiving. And so if we follow these two gifts, freedom to choose and to propagate society and other things in our own image and likeness, we're missing it. But if we chose the image of God, his goodness, the image of his kindness, we chose to propagate that image rather than the image of judgment and condemnation that law gives us, but the image that Jesus really wanted us to have. The image of, he says, I came not to condemn, but to free you from that bondage, that tying up, being locked away from the image of goodness, the kindness that he has, free from being locked away from that and create a new image. Almost born again, so you're no longer born of the blood of your parents, what's in the DNA, what's already there, what's in the family line. You're no longer born of the fleshly desires of your heart, which are so selfish and cruel in a way, and no longer born of the will of others, what others have done to you. But if you follow him as he really is, Jesus as he really is, you can be born into a new image that God really has for us. No, it wasn't his plan to have to use a tree of knowledge of law, because the whole history of Israel showed us that law condemns. He wanted to prepare mankind to receive the image that he has, Jesus has, not based upon the knowledge of what's good and bad, but based upon the living in relationship with the one who's good. Living in relationship with the one who even gave his life to tell us how much he loves us, to the one who chose, says to the Father, Father, I want to go and show them what a man is supposed to be like. And his Father, with sadness in his eyes, says, yes, you can, son. And he does exactly that. He shows us the authority we're supposed to have, to reproduce the image of goodness, kindness, healing, the image of gentleness, the image of releasing people from the pains and troubles of their lives. That's the image he wants to reproduce. And that's the character he wants us to have. And he knew what it would cost him when he gave us those two gifts of free will, and the gift to reproduce an image and likeness. He knew what it would cost him. He knew it would cost him his own life.